Hello, I'm George, and this is the 7th lesson of my Java programming tutorial series. In this lesson, we are going to take a look at the while loop and the do-while loop. While loop consists of a condition and keeps running while we meet this condition. So if we don't meet the condition, we are going out of the while loop. The do-while loop is similar to the while loop, but it always runs at least once. We can use the break and the continue just like we did in the for loop in both of these loops. We can also create infinite loops and things like that. So let's get started. First of all, we are going to create a class called game because games used to have loops, right? Let's just create a game class and add the private boolean running field. For generating the getter of the game, we can implement the isRunning method. However, IntelliJ IDEA can do this automatically for us. What we need to do is basically write the private boolean running, then press Alt Insert and choose getter. As you can see, the getter is automatically generated and it's not called getRunning, but it's called isRunning. Because if we generate a getter for boolean parameters, then you use the is keyword instead of the get keyword. So we are going to create a shutdown method, so public void shutdown. It will just print that shutting down the game and set this running flag to false. So in our main program, we are going to create a new game instance and we are going to do while game is running, and we are just going to wait a little bit, like half seconds. We are going to throw this exception and tick in the game. So we need to implement this tick method and it will just print that game tick. It will also have some logic for stopping the game. First of all, when we initialize the game, we need a public void init method for it, and there we can write initializing the game and set the running flag to true. And now we can create a new random to the game, and let's say the random number is 0. So we generate a random number between 0 and 20, and if we get 0, then the game is stopped. So we have basically 5% chance for stopping the game all the time when the game.tick method is invoked. So we can do the same thing with the do-while, and now we can run the program. And as you can see, the game is ticking, and then we get our 5% chance it will stop running. It's really depending on the luck. It shouldn't be like 20 ticks, but in average it should be 20 ticks. So it sometimes might be at 5, sometimes even 50. But as you can see, it already stopped the first loop, and now it also stopped the second loop. Alright, so I'm going to show you another way how to use these while loops. We are going to do a simple counter like we did with the for loops. So we are going to count from 0 to 19, and it's pretty simple. We can just do something like that. While I is smaller than 20, then system out print line I++. Or we can also do it with the do while, so do system out print line while I is smaller than 20. And we need to initialize the I to 0 at the beginning. So let's run the program now, and before doing that, just comment out the game section. So we can do slash and start for commenting out some parts of the code that we don't need currently. As you can see, it works properly. So now I'm going to try setting the i's initial value to 20. See what will happen then. What do you think? What will happen? Comment below. So as you can see, we got 20, but only for the second loop. And it's because the do-while loop, as I said in the beginning of the video, is always executed at least once, while the normal while loop is not executed once if the condition is not met. And as you can see, the IntelliJ IDEA is already showing us the warning that the condition what we brought to the while loop is always false. So let's just reset it. And the last thing what I'm going to show you in this video, as I promised in the beginning, will be making infinite loops with this while and with this do-while. So for doing that, we can just use the boolean true. So we can do while true and put any kind of code there what we are going to do. So we can just print that looping And we can add some condition here so it won't be infinite. And we can do some trick here with the game. I'm trying to get the brand of the game, and for doing that I need to make it being public. In the next video I am going to explain you what are these private, public and access modifiers. Okay, so you will need to watch it to know all these things. So if the randomly generated number from 0 to 5 is 3, then we are going to break out of the cycle. As I said, the break and the continue works here too, so we can use them. And I have already explained you the break is breaking out of the cycle all the time, and the continue is keeping the rest of the cycle, just like for the for loop. So as you can see, this will work. If we run the program, I'm going to show you something interesting. We don't know where did the do while started, so we are going to print starting do while. As you can see, there are lots of looping after starting do while. Why is that? The answer to that question is pretty simple, and it's because it's random. Random means that we have a chance for repeating the same thing with a low chance like several times, so it just in average we get 20% chance of getting out of the cycle. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, click the notification bell so you could get notified when I upload my next episode of this series.